What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JTW Sports Show. Today, we're going to talk about the first week of the NFL. It's technically officially underway. We've had some training camp where we've seen Tebow catch some balls from Trevor Lawrence, looking buff. But now we're officially preseason game one is tonight at 8 o'clock.
The NFL is back, baby. I'm so happy. We've waited, how many months?
It's been way too long.
It's been way too long. Way too long. But now officially, starting this week, we will have an NFL or a college football game every weekend until the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I'm excited going from August to February of football.
And we will be playing football ourselves as well. Not till February, but yeah, it's fun. I'm so glad the NFL is starting back. Like you said earlier, we have our first preseason game tonight. It's the Cowboys versus the Steelers at 8 o'clock on Fox.
On a high school football field.
Well, it is the Hall.
At this point, it doesn't matter as long as
football is football.
Football is football. I'm excited. TJ, get us started today, man.
All right, so we've had a lot happen actually in the past week between injuries, retirement, punishments, even. So injury wise, what I want to kick off with is what's going on with the Colts. Colts are having some setbacks right now. Carson Wentz is now elected to have his surgery off of his foot injury. Originally, he was just going to do therapy, kind of work through it. Now he's going to surgery. He's out 5 to 12 weeks. Everyone's like, ooh, that hits the program a little bit. Some memes came out. Andrew Luck's coming back. Please. Now, a couple days later, Quentin Nelson has been elected with the same injury on the same foot. I don't know which foot it is, but it's the same injury. So I don't know what's going on up there, but they need to get their athletic training staff.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the worst thing in the world besides having to get out of football because of damn COVID is injuries. And like how unlikely for it to be the same injury for for the best player on the team in Quentin Nelson, and then your quarterback that you just traded for, like that sucks. It sucks real bad. It's kind of crazy. It has the same foot, same injury, same length.
Yeah, that was what got me. It was the same injury.
Yeah. So Quentin Nelson, obviously, he's out for the same amount of time. It's 5 to 12 weeks.
Best offensive lineman in football.
Honestly,
and that's good. That's gonna hurt that team.
But yeah, I think he's easily the best guard, arguably the best offensive lineman in football. But yeah, obviously, it's gonna hurt the team. He's their best player. Their offensive line in general was actually really good last year with Ryan Kelly, Braden Smith, and Quentin Nelson, especially to kind of hold the line. But dude, man, that sucks. Sucks for Jonathan Taylor. But it's good for Georgia guy, old Jacob Eason.
Mark my words. I think after the preseason, Sam Ehlinger will be the starter. Bold prediction. I think Sam.
It is
Sam
a bold prediction.
Will be the starter.
I forget. Did they trade away Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah.
Yeah. So their backups, their top 3 backups after Carson Wentz are Brett Hundley, who has been in the NFL for 7 years. He was mostly with the Packers. Then Jacob Eason, who is in his second season, who has 0 career snaps, and Sam Ehlinger, who they just drafted in I want to say the 6th round this year. So I like Sam Ehlinger. So I don't know. I think
he's been the guy. I don't like him. Obviously, as a Georgia fan,
yeah.
As much as I hate to see Eason go, he's still a Georgia guy, and then we just hate Texas.
Yes.
Mark my words. If Sam Ehlinger wins an NFL game, and in his press conference goes, "We're back," I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna cancel the Colts, and we're gonna move on from them.
Yeah. So speaking of moving on, what's your next little topic, TJ?
All right. It's actually an opinion. It's opinionated based off of some coaching going on.
Okay.
I want to know y'all's opinions. So recently, the Giants had a full team brawl, and Joe Judge punished them by making them run 110s and doing push-ups. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, this isn't the way," but then other people were kind of like, they need this kind of punishment to be a self-disciplined team. So I want to know y'all's thoughts on his agreement for the punishment for the fight, or is it one of those, it's training camp, fights are going to happen, just let it be what it is and move on from it?
I have a weird opinion on it because just the fact that Joe Judge is so new to the NFL, it just kind of makes people wonder, like, what kind of authority do you think you have? No, obviously he's got the authority, but he's bringing kind of a college way of punishment, with running and stuff. Like, you see all these big time vets, they don't want to run, especially not for punishment. In fact, one of them retired on spot.
Yeah. He claims it wasn't because of that, but
no,
I forget. Is it Joe Looney?
Yeah, but right before that happened, like a week before, he said he loved being punished.
Right. And then Joe Judge has also had another player retire since signing with them this offseason.
You know what I call
Todd Davis.
You know what I call that? Soft. Dude, I don't care if you're a professional athlete, a college athlete, high school, or a youth athlete. If you do something bad during practice, you should run for it. It doesn't matter if you're a professional or not. Because like everybody says, if that happened during a game, they would be thrown out of the game. And depending on how bad it was, they could be suspended. And that hurts the team. So if you make people run for something, they're probably not going to do it afterwards.
It just teaches accountability. And that's like, at the end of the day, you got to be able to, to rely on a teammate, whether it's the first or fourth quarter and in practice. Like, practice is the most important time. You've all these practices for one game a week. And like, there's a reason that that coaches are teaching this kind of manner, that they're punishing people for making bad decisions. And I blame Daniel Jones to an extent, dude. You're the starting quarterback.
He's at the bottom of the pile.
He's at the bottom of the pile. You need to be the one that's getting people out of there, making sure that, that they don't have to run, not even have to run, but they don't have to fight each other, like your teammates.
The one thing about it was there was no video. So like, we don't know how it started or anything. Like,
it could have been someone hit Daniel Jones after.
And it could have been Daniel Jones that started it. Who knows?
Yeah, it could have. Well, the reason I asked is because Joe Judge did punish the Giants for their fight. When on the other side, Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell did not. He said in a press conference after there was a fight that it fired him up.
But I did see last week that he was making them do up downs.
Really?
And he was doing up downs with them. And he was giving more effort than the players.
Really?
I can't remember who it was. They quoted it, an NFL player. They quoted it and said, y'all better take the under on this team this year because of the effort they were giving during up downs. And that everybody else was like, saying like, oh, you don't agree with the way he's coaching, like him doing up downs. He said, no, I agree with that. I agree with them doing up downs, but the effort that they're giving wasn't like, if you're giving that kind of effort doing up downs, what kind of effort are you going to give on a 4th and 10 when the game's on the line? You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially now they don't have Matt Stafford. You got Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, I've been taking the under on this. I've been taking the under on this team for a while now.
Listen, I'm telling you, the only game they'll ever win is the Thanksgiving Day game. They could lose every other game this season, but they will walk away with a W on Thanksgiving.
I know we talked about the Colts, and I mean, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but did y'all see Phillip Rivers said he wanted to come back?
Yes, he did say that it's.
I haven't seen that, no.
Phillip Rivers said he said that if he had to make a comeback and go to training camp right now, he would not be ready. But he's not ruling out returning in December after the high school football season is over, because he's a high school coach right now. And Phillip Rivers said he may return. I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
Dude, nah. Like,
I think the only reason is because Carson Wentz got hurt. They don't know how long he's going to be out.
So let me be back in December when Carson Wentz is supposed to be back. Okay, yeah.
Well, this kind of plays into the whole Carson Wentz narrative, though. If you look at his career as a whole, he gets hurt almost every single season. There's always something. It's something new. And I feel like if you look at his legacy as a whole, Carson Wentz will be known as the guy to be injured. That Super Bowl win, yes, he's a Super Bowl champion. He didn't play in that game. Nick Foles did because he was injured. He played 8 games. You know what I'm saying?
I've never been high on Carson Wentz personally. Like you said, they made it to the Super Bowl without him. They didn't win that Super Bowl because of Carson Wentz. They won that Super Bowl because of their defense. They had one of, if not the best defenses in the league. And on offense, they just had an all around, good team. And
some trick plays. I mean, they did what they needed to do to win, which at the end of the day is the ultimate goal. And then looking as a whole, I just wanted to know your thoughts. Yes, it was announced last week, but Aaron Rodgers returning to Green Bay. Did you kind of think it would always he be going back to Green Bay, or kind of just?
Yeah, he was going. He was playing hardball with them, and he lost.
I don't know if he necessarily lost.
He won in the department
because he is getting the band back together.
Yes, but he wanted certain things. The one thing I think that he won with was them restructuring his deal to where he's a free agent after this season. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what they get out of it? An old Randall Cobb? Like Randall Cobb's he's still cool. He's still a cool receiver, but that didn't really benefit much.
You're still getting MVP Aaron Rodgers back.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying as far as the overall team, they're basically the same team as they were last year.
Yeah.
Except they added a 30-something-year-old Randall Cobb.
Now they're trying to get
I think all that's done is like show other players around the league that, we can do what we want now. It kind of showed Devontae Adams, his own teammate. He was like, oh, well, if Aaron's doing it, then I can do it. And it's kind of like, yeah,
I just don't agree with that kind of stuff. When you sign a contract for 3-4 years, whatever it is, 5 years.
You signed it.
That's your contract. Signed it. And if you outperform that contract, that's like, okay, yes, you probably deserve more at the end of that contract. But if you're 2 years into your 5-year contract, why should I give you more money when you sign that contract?
It's dumb.
And player holdouts are happening. Miami, Xavier Howard, he showed up to training camp, but
just so he didn't get fined.
They didn't, so he didn't get fined, but he didn't like the way his contract was. And they're like, no, we're paying you what we're paying you. And now he wants a trade.
Yeah. But they don't speaking of trades, I have an article here by ESPN that I think would be a good article to go through. It's just to finish this off for the day. 6 trades that we would love to see happen in August. Or 6 preseason trades, basically. The first of which is Xavier Howard. So the Saints would get Xavier Howard and a 5th-round pick, and the Dolphins get a 2022 first-round pick. Just say yes, no, and then we'll go from there.
From which side, though, or from both sides?
Just, do you think it's a good trade overall?
If I'm the Saints, I mean, can they even afford it?
Let's see. He's due $49 million over the next 4 years. Yeah, apparently they can.
If they can, then I say go for it, because you still have a decently young, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Jameis Winston. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong this year. I think he's a good quarterback. Yeah, I think, to be honest, he has all the talent and skills to be an above average quarterback in the league. I think he's going to prove people wrong. He's a great, yardage quarterback. Right. They have a young core besides some big parts on their defense. But then, you take away some of those other parts and you have these, these Marcus Williams and you have this, Marshawn Lattimore. You put Xavier Howard in there, dude, that's some of the best DBs in the –
And that's what the article says. It says, they have Marshawn Lattimore, but next year he'll be a free agent.
Yeah.
So you bring in Xavier Howard, then you can let Marshawn Lattimore go.
Or you try to get
reach. Yeah. So but if you can bring in Xavier Howard, then you have a, pretty good duo.
Yeah. But I don't know. From the Dolphins too, you get a 1st-round pick out of it.
Yeah. For a guy who doesn't want to be there.
So he's going to end up leaving regardless.
Yeah.
And then you giving up a 5th-round pick for a 1st-round pick, basically. I say yes for both sides if you can make it happen.
And the Dolphins can get off all that money and have that money to sign somebody else.
And you look at the Saints in their draft, history, most of their best picks are past the 1st round. You know what I mean? So, yeah, hell, I say go for it for both teams. It's a good deal. This 1st-round class coming up potentially this next season, depending on where that pick stands, this class could be really deep with a lot of great talent.
Yeah.
I don't know, it really hurts Miami because they have a top defense right now, and he's one of the top corners, top deep in the league. And besides him, it's kind of I don't know. But
this next trade is I don't like it at all. I think none of us will like this. The Jets add insurance behind their quarterback of the future. The Jets get Nick Foles and a 6th-round pick, and Chicago would get a 2022 6th-round pick.
I could see where it could be beneficial for the Jets because they tried to do this with Sam Darnold once before with Joe Flacco. They brought Joe Flacco in to kind of be that veteran to help him grow as a player. I could see where it could be beneficial, but at the same time, Nick Foles and Zach Wilson, they don't have a similar play style. So
and it also says here that the Bears would have to agree to convert Foles' fully guaranteed $4 million roster bonus into a signing bonus, and that would have to be paid out by the Bears. So like the Bears would essentially be sending Nick Foles a 6th-round pick and paying $4 million to get a 6th-round pick back.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Both too. As a quarterback, like obviously bringing in competition is good. It makes you work harder, but sometimes it's kind of like a slap in the face because
especially since you just spent the 2nd overall pick on him.
Yeah, and you want to give this kid all the confidence in the world, and there's a big like gap and where you have to like realize, I want to give this kid confidence versus I want to make this kid better. But sometimes making him better is not by putting someone else in that's just going to frustrate you. So I don't know. It's kind of
I could see if they brought somebody in as far as like free agent wise, that's not like, they know he's not going to start, but he's going to help. He's a veteran and he's going to help him. But if you trade for a guy, that's that's kind of like, oh, you don't believe in me.
You're giving up assets for a guy. You're not just
yeah.
I don't like that one. What's the next one?
Next one is Jaguars add a veteran weapon to help their rookie quarterback. Jacksonville would get Zach Ertz, and Philly gets a 2022 5th-round pick that can become a 3rd or 4th-round pick based on production. I actually like that trade a lot because
for both teams.
For both teams. Ertz is only due $8.5 million next year, which is not very much. I mean, he's been injured the last few years, but ever since they went to the Super Bowl, he's been pretty injured. But I mean, he's still a pretty good player, and I think he'd be a reliable target for Trevor Lawrence.
So
the pastor,
dude, you have Tim Tebow, bro. And do they still have Tyler Eifert, don't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, but
that kind of secures your tight end spot. You got Eifert's a decent. He's also injury prone, but he's a decent run blocker. Zach Ertz has the potential to be a top 5 tight end in the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's kind of out of that. With the emergence of Dallas Goedert being a top tier tight end, I like that deal for Philly. You get, I mean, a potential 3rd, even a 5th for someone
based on production. So I mean, if Ertz stays healthy, I think Trevor Lawrence would use him a lot. Considering rookie young quarterbacks, they got to have those running back tight ends.
Hold on. We're forgetting Gardner Minshew still hasn't taken a number 2 yet. He's not trying to be the backup yet, bro.
Dude, Gardner Minshew. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't start, okay.
There will be riots in Jacksonville if Trevor Lawrence does not start.
I like that for both.
Well, speaking on Philly, since we just talked about a potential trade, it was released yesterday, and I want to know your thoughts because of how this would affect Jimmy, especially you from a quarterback perspective. Philly in talks with Houston to trade for Deshaun Watson, who right now in Houston is he's the 4th-string quarterback. He's practicing his QB4 and is the scout team safety. So I want to know your thoughts about sending him to Philly.
Dude, I just want to know about these allegations first. Like, I haven't heard anything in the news or anything about Deshaun Watson in a while. They're keeping it low. It's making it seem like this dude's not going to play ever again. You know what I mean?
I'm serious. I said it a couple weeks ago. It wasn't on here, but I said it. I don't think he's going to play this year. I think he's going to sit out the whole year.
Yeah.
Not willingly, obviously.
But if they trade him, then what do you do? Do you play him or do you play Jalen Hurts?
I think if you're
if you trade him, you're probably going to get Jalen Hurts. If I'm Houston, I'm not trading Deshaun Watson and not getting a quarterback back. I mean, yes, they have Tyrod Taylor, but also Jalen Hurts still has potential.
But with Houston being such a really bad team right now, let's be real. With the quarterback class in this draft,
I can see that.
Sam taking for Spencer or any one of these quarterbacks that's going to emerge as one of the top in the nation.
Jimmy Arzua.
Man, you know me. No, but like, what if they're just tanking for him? They want to start a hard rebuild, and now you can get potentially, maybe even due to the allegations, you're not going to get very many picks. You might get a third or fourth max for Deshaun, but that's hell of a deal for Philadelphia, to be honest. If these come back as like false allegations and he's able to play, then you just gave up a third round pick and maybe Jalen Hurts for a top 5 quarterback in the league, arguably. I don't know. It's arguably, very, very arguably. It's a tough decision, but like in certain circumstances, I can see how it's a great fit for both.
Yeah, I think they just need if I'm a team that's trading for him, obviously Houston wants to get rid of him. But if I'm a team that's wanting to trade for him,
I need to make sure that the allegations.
I'm trying to wait until after that because you never know what could happen with that. If you give up, say you do give up 2 first-round picks or something,
or you give up Jalen Hurts,
or you give up something valuable for him, and then he ends up not being able to play for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So you never really know. That's why I think they need to. But it might. That's what I'm saying. He might not play this year because it might take a whole year to sort this thing out. That's interesting to keep an eye on. It's not really. That's like the only thing we've heard about it is that they've talked about it.
That's the only thing I've heard about Deshaun Watson in months. Besides he's at QB4 and scout team safety. Other than that, you haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, and I mean there was 3 other trades on here, but Andy Isabella for N'Keal Harry. I mean, that's not significant at all. I don't know why they'd put that on here. Jordan Hicks for a 6th round pick. And then the Rams actually trading Sony Michel for a 5th round pick, which would be interesting, but I don't see the
Belichick won't give up Sony Michel.
Yeah. So, but those are some interesting things to keep our eyes on. Like we said earlier, we're really excited to have football back. We're still going to be talking about, basketball. We're going to talk about other sports that are big. Maybe throw a little bit of golf in there for TJ's uncle.
Uncle Doug, shout out.
If you're watching this, Uncle Doug, comment Uncle Doug. Until then,
we got to make a big announcement coming up for a sponsor of ours. We're gonna make that into another video. We'll introduce that and make some posts about it. But
that'll be coming next week.
Very excited about that as well.
Next week when we're in person, we will make a video about that and let you guys know that you can get discounts.
A great deal. We don't want to get too much into detail, but yeah, dude, this was fun. TJ, thanks for kind of hosting this a little bit.
Hey, first time opening.
Great introduction. Everybody comment down below how fantastic of an intro that was for TJ Skinner.
And go check out all our links will be in the description. Go check out our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok. All of those. So let us know, stuff you like about it, stuff you want us to do, stuff you want to see us do in real life when we get back in person. We got some videos, ideas lined up. So until then, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace. All right. Oh shit, it didn't stop recording yet.